that's it. You know, I actually tell a story. A guy said to me, "Well, I've been asked many times, what's the most I've ever played for?" And I can honestly say the most I've ever played for is actually a finger. And people from where I'm from, they'll tell you, you know, there'll be a lot of people that'll back the story up. I grew up where I grew up in Rockhampton. I used to play at a place called Billy's Blues Bar, and it was a saloon bar. It was a saloon bar that at the back of it, it was about 16 pool tables. And at the front, there was like a karaoke room and a nightclub as well. Anyway, I was going there from the age of probably 16, 17. And I was getting into the place. My brother used to be a bouncer there, and I knew the owner pretty well. And it was awesome because there'd be comps on every night of the week, 7 days a week, and it'd be worth like, say, $50 cash and $100 fucking drinking voucher. This was 7 days a week. So I grew up in this place for about 2 or 3 years, and at the back of that, they had one of the local bikie clubs, and it was pretty recognised bikie club. I won't mention it because I don't want it to come back. It's one of the bigger ones in the world, right? I'd say it's equal to, say, the Hells Angels, yeah. Anyway, at the back of that clubhouse, I used to go there every Friday night. They used to have what they call the beer, prawn, and porn night, and it used to be $20, right? And they'd have the Sheilas come in, show their tits, dance around, do whatever. You'd have your prawns and you'd have your beer, and it was a fucking cracker night. It'd be like $25 every Friday night. I'd go there, have a few drinks, watch the titty show, and then I'd go out to the saloon bar. Anyway, the deal was they used to have a pool table there, and I used to always go in there. I was playing for drinks and that. And Bluey, who was the sergeant of arms of this club, he said to me there one day, he said, "Listen," he said, "I don't mind you coming in and playing." He said, "But you're not taking any of our fucking money anymore, and you're not allowed to go out and play for drinks." Because he walked in one night and I just had a table full of rum cans and that, and I hadn't paid for a fucking thing. I think. Anyway, I said, "Yeah, no drums." So anyway, this one night, this is 6 months after he told me, this one night, I walked into the joint with my cousin and there was no one there. Like, he wasn't there, and there was a bunch of the bikies playing for drinks and that. Anyway, it wasn't long before night up. I had one of these round tables just full of rums. Like, literally, there would have been 20, 30 rums there, and I was blind. And next minute I look up and this Bluey's walked in, you know, big red bastard beard, looked like a Viking from yesteryear, you know. Anyway, he's just walked straight up and he just starts sculling me drinks, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? Anyway, he's like, "I told you." He said, "I told you once." He said, "Now get out." He said, "You've got a month bar." Right? So with that, I was about to open my mouth up and my cousin's gone, "Shut the fuck up, let's go." So we've walked out of the Vikings club. We've walked down the laneway out the front. We've gone into this Billy's Blues Bar, and I've gone up through the karaoke room, straight out the back to the pool room, and the owners opened up the table for us, and we're out there having a drink, etc. And next minute, probably about 15, 20 minutes go past, and about 8 or 9 of the bikies walked in, and Bluey was one of the bikies. He's one of them, and he walked straight up to the table. He says, "Come on." He says, "We're not in the club now." He says, "I'll play you for a drink." Anyway, on the where the walls were around the premises, they had in the brickwork, they had tables that come out from the brick, right? They're probably about 1.5 meters long and about 400 or 500 mil wide. Anyway, that's where you place all your drinks and that. Anyway, it took me, I don't know, 25 minutes, half an hour, and I just had rums everywhere again. I was just raping them for rums, yeah. Anyway, he's all the boys are taking the piss out of him. And he went and got me another rum. He comes back and he says, "Listen," he says, "I'll play you for a finger." And by this time, I think I was about 18 at the time. And I said, "I'll play you for a fucking finger." Like, I was a cheeky little fella, and I was blind, you know, so I didn't really realise what I was getting into. And I said, "Yeah, I'll play you for a finger." Anyway, sure enough, mate, I broke the balls, and back then it was littles and bigs. And I broke, and I've got nothing down, but it was like you couldn't place the littles anywhere better on the fucking table to roll in, yeah? So, and I remember he's potted 2 or 3 littles, and the other bikies, and they're all big boys, just started yelling, right? And they started, every single pot, they yelled louder. And then all of a sudden I realised what situation I was in, yeah? So, so I'm looking around for Chris and Vince, the owner, to see, you know what I mean? Like, because I knew what the fuck I'd got myself into. Anyway, cut a long story short, there was no one out the back, and he ended up missing his second last ball, and I snookered fuck out of him and ended up winning the frame. Anyway, I said, just get me a rum and we'll call it even. And I remember he'd gone from laughing and smiling just to going dead serious in the face, and he looked at me, he says, "You'll take me fucking finger or I'll take yours." And with that, he reached onto his belt. Yeah, mate, I remember like it was yesterday. With that, he lifted his shirt up and he's taken the knife off his belt, one of those little fold-up knives, and he's put his finger onto the table. And anyway, he's handed me the knife and he says, "Take this one, yeah," and he's pointing to his index finger. And I grabbed the knife and I put it on top of his finger and I said, "Grab me a rum and pull even." He said, "Take it or I'm taking yours." And he said it loud. So with that, I've cut down to the bone on his finger.
Oh.
And I was just about to take his finger off, and I said, "Last chance." I said, "Get me a rum," and he started laughing. He said, "I'll get you a rum," and he gave me a big bear hug. And I remember telling my dad when I got home, my father was a military man, and my father was like, and my brother, there's like, "You got no idea how fucking lucky you were," you know what I mean? Like, and but I can always say I actually played for a finger, and that's gospel. I did play for a fucking finger, and I was willing to take his finger as well. It was either his finger or my finger, and I wasn't going to lose my fucker.
No. What a story.
So that's me claim to fame, anyway.
Well, that could